Deciding to trust the voice in his head, and based on the train sound he heard, he attempted to open his eyes looking in the direction of where he thought the tunnel exit might be. He managed to see a bit of brightness before he had to close his eyes again. Michael wasn't entirely sure if the train track was on his left or his right, as he hadn't been quite aware enough when the last train came past. He decided he would stretch out to his left and right a bit, and if he struck an object, he would be able to determine if it was the tunnel wall or the train track and go from there. He stretched out his right arm and it hurt a bit, but was bearable. Though no wall or track was touched, Michael felt an incline shortly before his arm had fully extended. He concluded that this was the non-track side and based his direction of movement on that. He would check to his right every so often to ensure he wasn't moving toward the track by using that raising for reference. Bracing himself for pain, Michael began to crawl toward the light. It really hurt as he began to drag himself. He let out several groans as he dragged himself toward the tunnel exit. From time to time he would get a mouthful of grit as his head dipped into the ground. It felt like ages as progress was both slow and painful. He opened his eyes after a while to try to judge how close he was to the exit and could make out that he was nearing the sunlight. Bracing himself for a little more pain, he clawed his way until he reached the light. He felt the sun on his fingers, and the voice in his mind told him to push a little bit more. Giving it all he had, Michael clawed a short bit further and couldn't go any more. He slid his arms forward, exposing as much of himself to the sun as he could. It had the familiar warm feeling to it, but it was somewhat muted. Michael lay there and slowly felt his pain easing. It eased enough for him to feel he could handle crawling out more, which he did until he was completely in the sun. Once in the sun, Michael attempted to expose as much of his skin as he could to the sun and waited as he gradually healed. He found he was beginning to breathe easier and could now open his eyes. There were a few clouds visible, and the color of the sky signaled to Michael that it was not long until sunset. Either not much time had passed, or he lost an entire day, which seemed to be more probable. Either way, he was relieved to still be alive. He remained still and tried to relax a bit until he heard the lines charge up, indicating that a train would soon be approaching. Michael needed to decide. Option 1, he stays there and heals until the sun sets. Or option 2, he tries to find a hiding place for the night. Vote now.